Hey, welcome. Happy New Week. Um, if you remember, for last week we were looking to take sales because on the daily time frame we are on seller's territory down. On the 4 hours time frame we're also on seller's territory or in seller's territory. On the 1 hour seller's territory, okay, which is a triple threat, a triple confluence. Because if these three are in seller's territory, that means that once price breaches a low, it will tend to run lower. Just like the saying, when you go low, I go lower. When you go high, I go higher. Once price is in confluence like this, it tends to dip further than anticipated, which is why this was where I was anticipating to take sell. But remember what I said, that taking sell here, price could react. This is the reaction I was talking about. You see this bullish candle, price reacted against the direction we were looking at. However, price played in favor of the overall buyers. Why? Because of the news that came up by 2 o'clock EST on Friday. I think that was some um, sales report, something like that, whereby the forecast was lower than the actual this thing. The actual value was lower than the forecast. So it was bad for the GDP, which was why price dipped. I think that fundamentals on Friday was giving the discrepancy between the sales inflation, a report on the inflation of prices from the retailers point of view. Okay, in other words, if price was like this from the retailers, if it is higher, that is giving us an idea of inflation in price. And inflation in price indicates that it has its bigger kind of influence, because it could also affect the volume of borrowing. It could also indicate interest rate. It could also affect the CPI, which is Consumer Price Index. And don't forget that CPI and the retail sales are working hand in hand. Okay, yeah, that was retail sales report, the monthly retail sales report. So once the CPI is low or bad, that will indicate that the retail sales will tend to do what? Follow in the same direction. Because the consumer price index, once it's high, people will tend to spend less. Once the retail sales, the value is high, people will tend to buy low or less, because if prices of things go higher, people will not, the purchasing power of consumers will not be able to get as large quantity of what they want. So they will go for what their money can afford. So that is going into fundamentals, but let's not go into fundamentals. Let's just, anyway, I've already spoken about it. So this is what you get from here. For today, what I'm looking at is to take sales at this low, stop loss, as you can see by this my pending order as displayed on the screen. I could take the sales around here, but what I'm looking at is this level here. This level could influence price by making, just like I was looking at this point, by making price to react. But if price goes below this level, breaches this support bearishly, then I'm expecting price to do what? Go deeper, giving us a 1 hour first of all. Then let's see how deep it's going to go. So this is what I'm looking at on British pound, Japanese yen. Okay, then for gold, let's see what gold will give us today. Yeah, if you remember for last week, I was looking at this. I was like, okay, sells below here to deep. Okay, stop loss around this zone. and the sales played out. The buys came into our vision, and I was like, okay, buys above here, another sell below here. The buys played out, the sell did not play out. So all you're doing is following the market. You're responding, you're not reacting. You're responding. Reacting will mean that because price went up, you want to go down. It's just like Newton's law that says action and reaction are equal but opposite. I think that should be the third law of Newton. But we are not reacting to say, okay, because it went up, came to the resistance, let us take price going down. That could imply reacting. But we are responding because the price goes up. We're looking at the momentum of the price going up versus the retracement. All of this works in perspective, okay? For today, what I'm looking at is potential sales below here, buys above this level. So this is what I'm looking at on gold. It's very easy, very simple. However, don't forget that the overall trend is still in seller's territory, overall trend. But if you could scrape some buys out of this pot of rice or whatever you like, that would be good for a start of the week. But don't forget, this is just Monday. Okay, so that's what I got on gold. Bitcoin has continued this dipping phase. As of last week, we were looking to hold on with our sell if price breaches this low, which it did. Okay, yesterday potential buys here. However, the sales came aggressively and it has pounded us down to where price started its bullish momentum. Okay, this was where price started the buys. It has pounded us down to that price level. So what are we looking at in the overall scheme of things? Okay, if today breaches this low and closes below it, I'll be anticipating what price to continue dipping. As simple as that. On Bitcoin, don't forget the overall price target I'm looking at is this 14,000 price level. That is $14,000 price level. That's what I'm looking at. But let's see what price is going to do today. A break of this low and close below would indicate further bearish momentum. Okay, I'll stop here for now. Do well to subscribe so you'll be notified, like stay in the loop of things. Also hit that notification button so you'll be notified. Comment and like. Appreciate what you're doing. Let's keep the momentum flowing. Okay, thank you very much. Peace. Baraka Bashar.